necessities. And trust me, guys, you have the right person here to guide you on each and every step. So the main reason why I told you to interact maximum is that this conversation shouldn't be one side. We shouldn't be the only people talking over here. The more you ask your doubts, the more you ask your concerns, then only it is going to be helpful for you, right? So I want each and everyone to ask maximum doubts. There is no, that there is no good doubt or a bad doubt. Even the dumbest doubt makes sense to some or other people, right? So make sure that everyone is interacting with us, asking with us maximum question, because you have the right person, senior most personality from your own industry to guide you here, Dr. Akram Ahmad. So sir will be guiding you in each and every steps, what all the necessary things that is very suitable for you, the good sides, the bad sides, everything he will be guiding you. Okay. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sipa. Others, can we start?
Yes, sir.
So hi everyone, my name is Dr. Akram Ahmad. So I'm basically Indian pharmacist. I completed my diploma in pharmacy, bachelor of pharmacy, and pharmd PB from India. Okay, so I can understand basically the those are the pharmd students. They want to go abroad, and their expectations and what they are looking. So uh, currently I'm living and working in Australia last 6 years, but before that I was working as a pharmacy lecturer in Malaysia. So around 4 years I was there. So I have around roughly 10 to 11 years teaching experience in India, Malaysia, and Australia. So, and I always make content basically on YouTube to guide the student to opportunities in abroad, whether it is like European countries and so many other countries like Canada, US, UK, and all those other countries. Why I'm talking about Australia and New Zealand. So whenever you are looking to migrate in any country, so you have to consider three very important points. First point, that the in which country you can easily settle down. I mean, you can get the PR visa, permanent visa, or you're getting the job there, and also the how you can crack this exam. It is an easy exam, a tougher exam, So in all these factors, Australia is one of the best country to move as compared to other countries. For example, Canada. If I compare UK, and the US, US very difficult to get visa. You basically like you need to go first the study for OSPAP course, then only you can register yourself as a pharmacist. It might take around 6 to 8 years to become a pharmacist in UK, right? Same for Canada. The exam is really very tough, the PEBC, and most of the Indian students are failed in that exam. So around 18% only student pass that exam. So in that all these factors, if we see, so Australia and New Zealand is one of the best country you can choose. So I'm going to discuss with you all these steps. So you can ask me any question end of this webinar. Okay, so you can interact with me one-on-one. So whatever you have doubts, you can ask the question in English or in Malayalam also. You can also ask in Hindi, so I'm basically a Hindi and English speaker. But Shiva is here to help us. If you have any question in Malayalam, you can ask. So academically, basically a company that provide assistance. Basically, we are the education company, so we provide assistance for all the healthcare professionals to migrate Australia, like medical doctors, dentists, pharmacists, lab technicians, optometrists, veterinary doctors. So all these occupations in healthcare, basically, there are three major steps they need to complete. Like first step called document verification. We will complete behalf of you. You just need to provide us your document. Next step, you need to pass a exam. Okay, so we'll provide you the coaching. You can pass this exam in India itself, and then find a job and visa. So all these steps academically will help you to complete. So easily you can migrate from India to Australia permanently on your permanent visa. So this is a little bit about me. So as I mentioned that I completed my diploma, bachelor's in PharmD from India. Then I completed my PhD from University of Sydney in Australia. So I'm currently a pharmacy academic. I'm basically a OSCE expert or pharmacy practice expert or pharmacotherapy expert at the University of Sydney. Apart from, I'm basically a full-time CEO of the academically. So we basically helping, especially pharmacists to migrate to Australia. So I have basically around 10 years experience and myself also, a lot of expectation when I was doing my pharmd back in India. Okay, so you can ask me any questions you have regarding job, visa, exam, or anything. Even if you have any question from any other country apart from Australia, if you want to um, comparative study and comparative analysis with me, so you can ask at any questions. So academically, basically provide the two assistants. One will provide the study abroad. So if you want to study like MS or like MSc or MS whatever in Australia, we can help you. But this is very expensive. Around you need to invest 30 to 50 lakh Indian rupees. Okay. So personally, I do not recommend to any student go on this pathway. So this is pathway is not viable to go to study again. So you since already you did your B Farm or Farm D, so you directly can migrate from India to Australia. No need to come on a study visa. So study visa is very expensive. Also, you can only got the job and the visa after 3 years when you complete your study. Okay. But the best pathway for you to do your registration yourself as a pharmacist in Australia, then government will automatically will give you the permanent visa to migrate to Australia. So as a pharmacist, if you want to migrate Australia, so you can migrate as a retail pharmacist or you can migrate as a hospital pharmacist. But some of you are a farm day, so your mind will be like that you are a clinical pharmacist. You are not a retail pharmacist or hospital pharmacist. I will clarify later on. So as a pharmacist, whether you are a B Farm holder or Farm D holder, you need to migrate Australia as a retail pharmacist or hospital pharmacist. So for this, there is three steps you need to complete. The first step called initial skill assessment, or also we call this step document verification. So they just want to check your degree is original, you graduate from this university, and you must be a registered pharmacist in your home country. Okay, so they will just check your degree and the transcript plus your registration. That's it. And some document, other like Aadhaar card and a passport and all those are supporting documents we need. So this is a step done by a APC. APC means Australian Pharmacy Council. Okay. So as we know, we have Indian Pharmacy Council. So anything, any approval, any exam conducted by the Indian Pharmacy Council. So here is the responsible body called APC, Australian Pharmacy Council. So this Australian Pharmacy Council will do your step one process. It's called document verification. So this step basically we will complete behalf of you. You just need to provide us your uh, scan copy of your documents. Okay, this is we will complete this behalf of you. Then number two step basically you need to pass this KAPS exam. Okay, so KAPS exam nothing but called knowledge assessment of pharmaceutical sciences. So whatever you study in B Farm or Farm D, now they want to check your knowledge. So you just need to score 50% marks in this exam. This is a multiple choice question exam. This is really very easy exam if I compare to many other things. I will discuss in later on slides. The number three step basically you need to pass a English test like IELTS, OET or PT, any test. We will also provide you the coaching for this as well. We provide coaching for CAL, provide coaching for English, will complete your skill assessment. So all these three steps academically will help you to complete. Once you complete these three steps, then you will get you are ready to apply for jobs in Australia. Also, you are ready to apply your permanent visa, and you can migrate basically with your family. So if you are married, I know you are a student, most of them you are unmarried, but if someone is already married, so you can basically migrate with your family, your wife or your husband, and you're planning basically later on you're married, So also you can call to your spouse, they can work with you in Australia. So Australia basically once you pass this, complete this process, so you can migrate with your family easily to Australia. Same for hospital pharmacist. And if you want to work as an industrial pharmacist, then you need at least 2 year working experience after your bachelor degree or your pharmd. Okay, but for pharmacists does not need to have any experience. If you have a zero work experience, you can migrate as a retail pharmacist, or you also can migrate as a hospital pharmacist. Okay, industrial pharmacists need 2 year work experience, and if you are working experience have a technician, so you need at least 1 year working experience as a technician. So retail pharmacist or hospital pharmacist does not require any work experience, but industrial pharmacist require 2 year work experience, and technician required at least 1 year work experience. Okay. And many of the faculties always ask me this question, sir, I want to work as a university lecturer in Australia. Can I work? So there is a separate visa for them called university lecturer. They can apply, but getting a job is really very tough, very challenging in Australia because the number of colleges are very, very low. Only 8 pharmacy college currently offering the pharmacy courses in Australia. So you are from Kerala. I'm sure Kerala have more than 100 pharmacy colleges, because in India we have around 6,000 pharmacy colleges approved by PCI, Pharmacy Council of India. Okay. So Australia have only 8 pharmacy college. That's why they need pharmacists from overseas. Okay. They, they do not require any lecturer from other countries, but they need basically to pharmacists in so around 3,000 pharmacists they need yearly to cater to demand of the pharmacists in Australia. That's why they give this permanent visa to pharmacists. They can easily can migrate to Australia. So basically, to become a pharmacist in Australia and New Zealand, there's a 3 simple steps, as I mentioned earlier. Also, these are the 3 steps you need to complete. First, the English assessment, then KAPS exam, then English test. Then you can migrate to Australia and New Zealand. But there is some difference in Australia and New Zealand. The first difference, basically, New Zealand require at least 1 year working experience in the retail pharmacy or hospital pharmacy. So basically, 1 year work experience required for New Zealand, but in case of Australia, it is zero. No work experience required to migrate to Australia. Okay, and second difference in Australia, like unlimited attempt to give the exam, but New Zealand only provide 2 attempts. If you fail in your second attempt, you cannot sit in that third attempt. But it is just I'm just comparing by this, but we have a very high track record to pass the exam. Around 93% student passed from academically in last exam, and this last week the exam result came. 92% student passed from academically. So we have very high track record to pass this exam. So you are not going to sit in second time. You will pass the exam in the first attempt. You just need to study 3 hours per day for 90 days. Okay. But I'm just comparing what is the difference in Australia and New Zealand. So Australia provide unlimited attempt, and New Zealand required 2 attempts only. Okay, and New Zealand is very very small country as compared to Australia. So many New Zealanders citizens they are migrating to Australia. Australia is a big country. There are a lot of opportunities in Australia. So you must try for Australia, not for New Zealand. But if you want New Zealand, we can help you for New Zealand as well. So in skill assessment, we need basically your degree, your transcript, your registration as a pharmacist, passport, national ID, birth certificate, and all those documents required. And you need to pay the fees to Australian Pharmacy Council. 1310 Australian dollar is about 70,000 Indian rupees. You need to pay to directly to the Australian Pharmacy Council. This is the body. They are responsible to conduct the exam, to conduct this complete this process assessment. So this is my first picture when I moved to Australia in 2017 as a PhD student at University of Sydney. So University of Sydney is one of the oldest university in the world. So you can say this is the established like 1849, this university. And the pharmacy school they established in 1899. So this is one of the oldest pharmacy school I can say. And even you can see the building is very, very old. So behind this building, there is somewhere here the School of Pharmacy is here. So here basically we provide Bachelor of Pharmacy and Master of Pharmacy and PhD. And so a lot of students basically come from worldwide to pursue higher education at the University of Sydney. So this is the number one university I can say in the field of healthcare and medicine. So number two step, basically you need to complete this KAPS exam called Knowledge Assessment of Pharmaceutical Sciences. And this exam fees you need to pay to the government or Australian Pharmacy Council around 2230 Australian dollars. So altogether around $3,540 you need to pay to the Australian Pharmacy Council. So 3540 AUD you need to pay altogether for skill assessment plus this KAPS exam fee to Australian Pharmacy Council. And then what is a KAPS exam? So basically this is a uh, first of all, there is no negative marking. So it is not like in India if you're writing the GPAT. So if I compare this exam to GPAT, is really very easy exam. You just need to score 50% to pass this exam and no negative marking. So basically you need to write two papers, paper one and paper two in the same day. So they will ask you the question from these four domains like pharmaceutics, pharmacotherapy, chemistry, and pharmacology and physiology. So paper one consists of 100 questions. There is a 2 hour time and you just need to score 50%. Okay. Same for paper two. So like paper two, like in the morning 9 to 11, then there is a 1 hour gap. Then you have to go for paper two. Okay. And the both papers you need to score 50%. And this is a multiple choice questions, all the questions. And once you give this exam, after 2 to 3 weeks, you will receive the result. And once you got the result, then you are eligible to apply the permanent visa and jobs in Australia. So the exam centers in India, but there's 8 exam centers currently, like Delhi, Noida, Gurgaon, Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chennai. So these are the 8 exam centers currently in India. So you can go and sit in any of this exam. And this exam conducted 3 times yearly, like March, July, and November. Okay. So this is Pharma Tutor, as you know. So this is one of the very famous website in India for pharmacy students. So they published one article about academically. So 90% student pass, as they mentioned, but actually 93% student pass from academically in the last session. Okay, very high time record for the pass exam. So English requirement, basically, what is the requirement for English? For visa, you can apply on 6 band in IELTS. But the registration as a pharmacist, you need 7 individual bands. So IELTS academic one, you have to choose, not the IELTS general. Okay. For pharmacists, we need IELTS academic, not general. Okay. And again, if you want to go for PT, again, PT also need to go for academic one. PT academic or OET also you can write. So in Australia, recently, this TOEFL is not valid from 1st of September. Okay. From 1st September, TOEFL you cannot write for Australia. So TOEFL is still, if you are planning to migrate to US, the TOEFL is the first choice. But if you are in case of Australia and New Zealand, so you can go for PT, OET, or IELTS. We provide coaching all these 3 exams. So international pharmacists need 2-year work experience and no need to have any pharmacy experience. But in Australia, 90% jobs are available in the clinical settings like retail pharmacy or hospital pharmacy only. Okay, so there is no basically very, I can say, low jobs and for industrial pharmacists, but still someone already working in this field, they can migrate as an industrial pharmacist. And later on, if they want to become a pharmacist, again, they need to pass this KAPS exam. Same for technician, they need at least 1 year experience and they can apply for the pharmacy technician as well. So the permanent visa you can apply for pharmacy, this is called 190 and 491. Okay. And there is some work visa also you can apply, these 3 visas. Many students always ask me a question, especially from Kerala, do I need to have any work experience to get any visa? Or they also ask the second question, that do I need a sponsor to get visa in Australia? So basically, you does not require any work experience. 0 experience also you can migrate to Australia. And secondly, the sponsor does not require for this PR visa. But PR visa basically given by the state government, they will sponsor your visa. You need sponsorship only for this work visa. So I do not recommend to any student to come on work visa. You come on a permanent visa. So in permanent visa, there is several advantage for you. For example, if you are not getting a job, so government will pay you monthly salary, so at least for your survival. Okay, because here the social security in Australia. Secondly, the on PR visa, healthcare is free. Okay, and thirdly, if you are marketing with your family, like your wife or you have kids, then education is free for them in Australia. Okay, so there are several advantages to migrate on PR visa. And if you are migrating on work visa, then the company might be give you a like some kind of bond. You need to sign like 3 years. You have to work for them. You cannot leave that place and this and that. But in PR visa, nothing. You can do anything you want, whatever you want, you can. Okay, so highly recommended for you to go for PR visa. So most of the consultancies, they do not give the true picture. Basically, they will say, okay, you have to go for work visa and you require work experience. So for that, you have to go on study visa. So I do not recommend any study visa. You just need to pass the exam and then you can get the PR visa. There is a several students from academically passed the exam, especially from Kerala, and now they are working in Australia as a pharmacist. So your once you pass this exam and come to Australia, so your first job you have to work as an intern pharmacist, and you will get the salary around $30 per hour salary. This is a good salary, I can say. Uh, and then you completed this 1 year internship, then you can work as a community pharmacist or hospital pharmacist. So now the question comes this clinical, what is clinical pharmacist in Australia? Because many of you might be a pharmacy student. So to become a clinical pharmacist in Australia, there is no separate route. You have to become a pharmacist first, then there is separate program you have to enroll called SHPA. So this is a body in Australia. You have to register with them and you have to complete some training, some exam. But just basically a part-time thing. Okay, so you can go for the SHPA website and see there. So while you are working as a retail pharmacist or hospital pharmacist, simultaneously you can enroll in SHPA. This is a part-time online study, and then you need to pass the exam. Then you can become a clinical pharmacist or consultant pharmacist in Australia. Okay, so any bachelor degree holder, whether it is a B Pharm, M Pharm, PharmD, even you are a PhD holder, all of you have to go to pass KAPS exam, become a pharmacist. Then after that, you can become a clinical pharmacist to go separate course and need to pass separate exam for that. Okay. So as a pharmacist, on an average, you can earn up to 120,000 Australian dollar per year. And Indian rupees, I can say 3 to 5 lakh per month. Okay. And average time will take around 6 months. To maximum our students from Kerala, they got the visa very, very fast. Last week, there are 3 students from Kerala itself, they got the visa. Yesterday, one girl, Nancy, she's our student, she got the visa. Before that, another guy, is CJ Matthew, he got the visa. So there is so many students they are getting the visa, within 45 days and within 1 month and 2 months, they're getting a lot of visa. So these are some of the reviews. Femi also from Kerala, she's one of our students, and she's currently working here in in Melbourne. So already Shiva in your college. So this is if you have any question, you can ask in Malayalam to him. But now is your time to you can ask me any questions if you have any doubt. Yes, guys, please unmute yourself and ask your doubt.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the information. I think
Thank
it
you,
was
ma'am.
good. It was very briefly and shortly presented so that we can understand the basics of the migrating to Australia in the as fast as you could say. Okay, sir, the question is actually once you clear these exams and the skill verification is done, how much time, approximate time is required to get the PR visa?
As I mentioned, our some student got within 45 days, some got in 2 months, some got 3 months. So visa also depend on individual profile. For example, a student, uh, maybe they are Indian citizen, they are working, for example, in Dubai, they went maybe Saudi Arabia here and there. So they have to check the police verification from India, where they went there, right? Or someone
Okay.
have like health issues, for example.
Mm-hmm.
In that case might take some time, but in general, within 3 months you can get the PR visa. Even from academically, maximum students, I can say around 80 to 90% student got the visa within 3 months.
Okay. So it means that if our documents are all correct, we can
Yes,
have
very fast.
approximately the visa.
Yes, even
Mhm.
one student got in 45 days. Yesterday,
Okay.
last week we uploaded one video on our channel. He's our student, so he got visa in 45 days. You know, and he already working basically. And the good news, basically nowadays, basically there is a lot of pharmacists they need. So the honor given to him 3 years accommodation, free accommodation for him. You know, so he signed the
Okay.
bond. 3 years they gave accommodation. He is paying him like $30. And once he become a pharmacist, the salary will goes to $40 to $45 per hour.
Okay. So once you clear these exams and all the documents, so does it mean that we can move to Australia with job?
Yes,
Or
even you can start looking job from India itself.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
if you are looking a job from India, so most likely they will offer you a work visa. So as I
Okay.
mentioned, you do not go
That is
on
not
work visa.
advisable, as you said. Huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Go on PR visa, and once you are in Australia, within 2 weeks you will get the job. Job is not a problem. Okay.
Okay.
The problem might be if you have like you have, sir, I only want to work in Sydney, I only want to work in Melbourne, then might be a problem. But if you are free, like you are open to work in anywhere in Australia, then
Mm-hmm.
definitely you will get the job within 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Okay. So one more thing, does we need to show some financial deposits?
No, no, no. This is also very
No.
misconception in the Indian student. Earlier, before I think 3 year back or 2 year back, so the finances they are required 40,000 Australian dollar need to show in your bank account, or you have the assets. But now no, not required anything. So basically in
Okay.
Australia there are several states. Okay, so there is
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
one state, that is the five state and two union territories, total seven in Australia. So only one state nowadays asking, sixth state is not asking. That is a Queensland. Okay, Queensland
Mm-hmm.
asking, rest of the state is not asking this financial status.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And visa are not given by many pharmacists. Nowadays, they are given basically Victoria. The Melbourne is the capital for the district. Highest number of visa they are issuing this Victoria. Then South Australia, Western Australia, a lot of visa they are issuing for pharmacists.
Okay, so sir, while going through the documents, does any kind of academic excellence matters?
No, it
Like
doesn't matter.
you must have 80%, you must have
No, no, no,
70%,
no, no, no,
anything
no,
like that.
no, 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 no. Even if someone is student and he failed, for example, in one subject, for example, then he
Mm-hmm.
or she clear in the after that, it doesn't matter. They just want to see you just pass the degree. That's it. Whether you are 90% or 50% doesn't matter.
Okay, so there is no categorization in that way, depending on the
No, no,
scores
no,
that you have
no, no,
got.
no. Many, ma'am, as you know, in India, a lot of universities are offering like kind of distance pharmacy courses. Even you don't no need to go to college. You can get the degree. Okay. So
Okay.
if this guy getting 90% the mark, 80% mark, what is the use for this mark, right? That's why there is
Uh-huh.
an exam. So if you can clear
Okay.
the exam, you can come to Australia. Whether you are marked 50%, 60%, or 80% doesn't matter. Even on the
Okay.
exam also, exam they
Mm-hmm.
just mention fail or pass. They do not
Mm-hmm.
mention that what is your actual score.
Okay, KAPS exam does not show that whether you have scored 80 or 90. If you
Yeah,
have crossed 50 means you are passed. That's all.
yes, only pass or fail. That's it.
Okay, okay, okay. Philip sir, are you there?
Students, please ask any questions in English, Hindi, or Malayalam. You can ask anything.
I know there are a few people who have joined in the last as well. So doubts എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കുക maximum, right? If any of this slide was not clear to you, any of this step is not clear to you, or any random doubts that you have, please, guys, show us maximum interaction from your end. So I'm pretty much sure that everyone won't be clear about everything, right? You don't have to mind that your faculties or your principal is here. So please ask students, so that sir can help you the maximum.
Sir, ഒരു question ഇവിടെ. What is your idea about moving to Canada or Australia if you compare these two countries?
Yes. So Canada is basically, as I mentioned, that PBC exam, the passing around 18% only. The passing in the percentage for PBC 18%, and in case of this KAPS around 90%. 90 plus from academic.
So do we have the center for this Canada exam in India?
No, there is no center basically. Canada basically have center in Delhi, but the problem, there's a time difference. Okay. So there will be midnight in India, so you cannot go and sit in the center. So this part one, after the COVID, there is a possibility you can write from home. But the exam, yesterday one student passed from academically. His name is Deepak. So Deepak is Canadian citizen. So he just passed the KAPS exam. So now he's coming back from Canada to Australia. Because of the weather. Weather also, he's saying he could not pass that exam. He tried few times. Now he passed the exam. Now he's coming from Canada to Australia. So Canada is not the viable. The exam is really tough. And after getting even if you pass the exam also, not easy to find a job. And weather is not very favorable to Canada, And visa also, they are given for pharmacists very high points. In Australia, they are given in minimum points. So there are several advantages to move Australia. We provide coaching for Canada as well. So I'm not like here the bias. If someone is want to go Canada, we can help you. Okay. So we provide coaching for Canada as well. We provide for PBC as well. But since many students are failed in that exam and not getting the visa, not getting the job, so we are, I'm not promoting personally that exam.
So basically, ma'am, Canada pass markum കൂടുതലാണ് compared to Australia. So 18% pass percentage Indians exam എഴുതുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും. So even ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് പഠിക്കാനൊക്കെ പോകുന്നവരുണ്ടല്ലോ, അവരവിടെ പോയിട്ട് ഈ കോഴ്സ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് when they attend these kind of examination, registration examination, അവർക്ക് അത് ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാറില്ല. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് the government asked them to move from the country to come back home. So at that time ഞങ്ങളെ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് KAPS എക്സാമിനേഷന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുന്ന സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് അക്കാഡമിക്കലിൽ ഉണ്ട്. So അതാണ് സർ ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചത്. So very tough ആണ്. There is no limitation in writing that examination, but the examination is going to be very tough compared to the other examinations.
And also you need to pass part 2 and you need to go to Canada to write that exam.
Okay, sir, അടുത്ത question. നമുക്ക് ഏജ് ലിമിറ്റ് വല്ലതും ഉണ്ടോ മൈഗ്രേഷന്? Students don't laugh.
So the age limit for PR visa in Australia 45 years.
Okay.
Your age must be below 45.
Basically, നമ്മുടെ visa processing വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് they give points for each category, right? So അപ്പൊ അതിലെ ഏജും ഒരു ക്രൈറ്റീരിയ ആണ്. Okay, so below 45 age they give 1 point, and above 45 age it is കുറച്ച് ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ട് ആണ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വരുന്നത്.
ഓക്കെ, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇനി നമ്മൾ ഈ ഇഫ് യു ഗെറ്റ് ദിസ് പെർമനന്റ് വിസ ആൻഡ് മൂവ്, സോ ഇനീഷ്യൽ നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിൽ ഒരു ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെന്റ് വേണമല്ലോ, ബിക്കോസ് നമുക്ക് ജോലിയില്ല, നമ്മൾ ഡയറക്റ്റ് അങ്ങോട്ട് പോവുകയാണ്. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ വരുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഹൗ മച്ച് മണി അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് യു നീഡ് ടു ഹാവ്?
No, as I mentioned earlier, it was 40,000, but now it's a zero. So at least if you are
not that, sir.
Unless
not that she was asked in the for survival there. Like we will be going there without having a job in hand, right? So once after reaching there for our staying and all.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling, not from the visa purpose, but at least you have something like 2 lakh or 3 lakh at least, so you can survive at least for the 2 months.
Yeah, because we'll be getting job, like as you said, get this 6 months we need to find. We need before you
not
get a
6
job.
months. I am telling within 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
From academically, not a single student like this not getting a job. All the students got job within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, not maximum 4 weeks. So within 1 month you will get the job. But at least you can take the money. At least you can survive for 2 months. So hardly 2 to 3 lakh is more than enough.
Okay, sir. Does there is any difference in these two graduations? That is, the students between the students of B Farm and PharmD. If there is, I mean, that is, there is any preference
No,
between
no.
these two?
There is
No.
no preference. Australia itself only offer B Farm, not Farm D, right? So
Okay, so they. Mm.
yes, that's why they are given basically 1 year internship. Okay, so you have to learn in that internship. What is your Farm D? Yes,
Okay,
Farm D.
so okay, one more thing is that when if you get a job, you are on internship for 1 year. Then only you move into a registered pharmacist.
Yes, but
In
it
Australia.
is a job.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they
it's
are
a
giving
paid
you
job. It's
internship.
okay.
Yeah, they are giving you internship because you don't know anything about Australia.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
correct.
need to learn basically. That's why they keep
Okay,
1 year internship for everyone.
okay.
Because law also, for example, we study in Indian laws, right?
That I understand because you
Yes,
must know.
yes.
Many different things. The laws are different. The rules are different. The
A lot of
language,
software we
everything,
need to
culture,
learn because
everything.
here is a very, very strict law. For example, antibiotics. Not a
Uh-huh.
single tablet you can buy in Australia, but in India you can buy any antibiotics, right?
Uh-huh.
So lot of very, very a lot of the responsibility on the pharmacist basically in Australia. And this is
Okay.
like in India we have a gazetted officer, so they can certify
Mhm.
your document, right? In
Okay.
Australia, they give the authority to pharmacist.
Okay. Like a gazetted officer.
Yes. Once you become a registered pharmacist, once you become a registered pharmacist,
Yeah, that's sure.
then you can certify any document.
Okay. Students, any questions? Sean? You cannot see.
Ma'am.
And we also give here the one in chat box feedback form. So please fill this form and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can ask the question in that form. Okay. So our
Okay.
team will connect to you later on. And we also provide basically the assistance. EMI we provide up to 12 months with no interest. The
Okay, sir.
interest
One more
is,
important question. As you said that you are giving training for preparation for the KAPS exam. So, what is the minimum fees of the course?
yeah, this will be around 1.5 lakh or something.
Okay. So, for how long? What is
This
the
is a
duration?
lifetime until the candidate pass the exam. But we provide in 90 days training. In 90 days, they can pass the exam. We provide 3 hours. You need to study for 90 days. Definitely, you can crack this exam in your first attempt.
Okay.
So, ma'am, fees ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യമേ കളക്ട് ചെയ്യത്തുള്ളൂ from the students.
Basically, we also provide the loan facilities. EMI, you can pay us in next 12 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Okay. So you can separately, you can discuss with Shiva. So you can fill this form we give in the chat box. Or if you have any specific question you want to ask him with Shiva, Shiva, you can ask in the Malayalam. Anything.
Sure. So, ma'am, ഫീസിന്റെ പേയ്മെന്റ് റിഗാർഡിംഗ് ദ ഫീ പേയ്മെന്റ് നമുക്ക് വരിക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വൺ ടൈം പേയ്മെന്റ് ആണ്. എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ യു ഓപ്റ്റ് ഫോർ എ ബാച്ച്. ആ ബാച്ചിന് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരു സ്പെസിഫിക് ഫീ ആയിരിക്കും വരുന്നുണ്ടാവുക ഇൻ ഓസ്ട്രേലിയൻ ഡോളേഴ്സ് പ്ലസ് GST വരും. ആ ഒരു ഫീ പേ ചെയ്തതിന് ശേഷം അത് പേ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഓപ്ഷൻസ് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. നമുക്ക് EMI ആയിട്ട് അടയ്ക്കാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 4 മാസമായിട്ട് അക്കാഡമിക് ലീഗായിട്ട് അടയ്ക്കാം, വൺ ടൈം ആയിട്ട് അടയ്ക്കാം. അതിന് മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ഓപ്ഷൻ വരുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ പഠിക്കുന്ന സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് എക്സാമിനേഷൻ ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് വരെ ഞങ്ങൾ ആ സ്റ്റുഡന്റിനെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടാവും വിത്ത് ദ ട്രെയിനിങ് പ്രോസസ്. ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ? ബട്ട് ദർ ഇസ് നോ എക്സ്ട്രാ എമൗണ്ട് ബീങ് ചാർജ്. ഇപ്പൊ സാറ് പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ അറൌണ്ട് 1.5 to 1.8 lakh ആണ് ഫീ എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത്രയും എമൗണ്ടേ വരത്തുള്ളൂ. ദ ഫീ ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ടോൾഡ് അറ്റ് ദി ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈം ടു ദി സ്റ്റുഡന്റ്, ദാറ്റ് വിൽ ബി ദി ഓൺലി എമൗണ്ട് കളക്ടഡ് ഫ്രം ദി സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ഫോർ ദി ട്രെയിനിങ്, അക്കാഡമിക്ലിയുടെ ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. Okay. And we will let the students write the examination only when they are completely ready. റീസൺ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാല് ഫോർ റൈറ്റിംഗ് ദി ക്യാപ്സ് എക്സാമിനേഷൻ നമ്മൾക്ക് ഒരു 1,30,000 രൂപയോളം ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഫീ അടയ്ക്കണം, റൈറ്റ്, ഇൻ ഓസ്ട്രേലിയൻ ഡോളേഴ്സ്. Okay, so the student has an option to give unlimited attempts the CAPS examination. പക്ഷേ ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം എഴുതി ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്തില്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ വീണ്ടും അടുത്ത പ്രാവശ്യം എഴുതാനായിട്ട് ഈ 1,50,000 രൂപ അടയ്ക്കണം ഫീസായിട്ട്.
പിന്നെ അടക്കണം.
അതെ അതെ. അപ്പൊ അൺലിമിറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് 1,50,000 രൂപ അടയ്ക്കാനുള്ള ആൾക്കേ അൺലിമിറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് എഴുതാൻ പറ്റത്തുള്ളൂ. ഒന്ന് നോക്കി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വലിയൊരു നഷ്ടമാവും പൈസ. അപ്പം വി നെവർ അലൗ അവർ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ടു ഡു ദാറ്റ് ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ്. ദാറ്റ്സ് വൈ നമുക്ക് ഈ ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈം എക്സാം അറ്റംപ്റ്റിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ സക്സസ് റേറ്റ് കൂടുതലുള്ളതിന്റെ റീസണും അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെയാണ്. They will be having individual sessions also. Each student in the evaluation നടക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും. Guide them in a proper way is what we are committed to. So training part is something that is we are very much particular about, right?
Okay.
Whatever other things, the documentation part, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അവരുടെ visa processing നുള്ള guidance is everything as that we are extending as a service to the students, which we charge very minimal. Even the training fees are very minimal compared to others.
Okay.
And our
Okay.
faculty are from Australia, so we are in Australia. This is an Australian company basically, So our all
Okay.
faculties for the KAPS, they are in Australia. They are registered pharmacists in Australia.
Okay.
So basically our skill shot, hi sir, just wanted to ask whether the opportunities are getting saturated.
No, I mean they have only 8 pharmacy college. Might be in 8 pharmacy college in your one city in Kerala itself. How they are saturation. Saturation might be, if they can open 50 college, then they don't need any pharmacist from the overseas. So currently a lot of students basically, are coming to market. Maybe in the after 5 years or 10 years, they might saturate, but not currently. Saturation already basically in the Canada and also in the Dubai, UAE, and many Gulf countries also. But in Australia, a lot of vacancies currently. If you just go and see on the seek.com, you can find more than 3,000 vacancies currently available. And 3,000 means 3,000 advertisement. So one pharmacy might need 2 pharmacies, 3 pharmacies. Sometimes they need pharmacists. Okay, so this is like a lot of vacancies available for pharmacists.
So Binay is asking which all subjects are needed to be covered in this examination. Should we get 50% in all these 4 domains?
I already mentioned the pharmaceutics, pharmacology, pharmacotherapy, and so all these subjects you need. So basically, this is not your job. This is our job. You just whatever we are teaching you in the live session, live class, your job only to revise the content and revise the content plus attend our mock test to pass the exam. We are not here to teach you again the pharmacy. You already registered a pharmacist in India. You did your B Pharm or pharmd, So we are basically going to very selected portion. Those they are going to ask in the exam. So we are here to help you to pass the exam. That's why the syllabus is very short and crisp basically.
And the thing is, she wants to know whether in all the 4 domains separately, like pharmaceutics, you must score 50% marks.
Definitely. If they give 30 questions, you must score out of the 50%.
15 marks. Okay. So each domain you must get 50%.
Ma'am, there are going to be 2 examinations in the same day.
In each 4 domains, so you have to must. If you fail, for example, in one domain, so you have to repeat that paper only in the next time. For example, you pass in paper 1 or you fail in paper 2. So next time you need to repeat only paper 2.
Okay.
So
examination എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരൊറ്റ ദിവസം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് 2 പേപ്പർ ആയിട്ടായിരിക്കും നടക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവുക.
Separated by a break in Australia, any local student, those are Australian citizens, they study in Australia pharmacy, So for them also they need to go 1 year internship, and they also need to go for 2 other exams. One called written exam, another called oral exam. So same for you. You are only doing the extra step that's called KAPS exam. After KAPS, you are going to be the same step as like local. So while you are doing your internship, you complete your internship around 70% of your internship. Then you need to write written exam. Written exam, nothing but it just take copy paste. Basically, you can see any book, you can see the answer in the Google. So hardly any student fail in that exam, all are pass. Another exam called oral exam. This is the OSCE exam basically. So you might be pharmd student, know that like SOP analysis you are doing in India, right? When you are doing to assessment for any case. So
yes,
similar
sir.
is here.
I'm doing it.
Yes, so similar kind of things. There's a OSCE exam in Australia, and academically also provide a separate coaching for that. If you need after 1 year, so we basically help you until you become a registered pharmacist. So we are not here just to pass the help to you for the CAPS. Every day I receive a lot of messages from my own students. They passed last 1 year back. So if they have any problem in their life, they just ask me that this is the problem. How do you exam, in the personal things, visa, this and that. And so I always help them. So there are two exams. One exam is very easy. You can pass that exam, and oral exam, if you need assistance, we also provide the coaching separately for that exam also. Okay, so you can easily become a pharmacist in Australia.
So I
Ireland with
hope
Ireland does not provide the direct PR visa as like Australia. So if you have 50 lakh rupees, you have to go there and study there in a study visa. Then you have to pass that PSI exam. Then you can again internship exam, become pharmacist. So they're also not that much easy as like Australia, the visa process. Even exam also PSI is a tough exam as compared to CAPS. And for Ireland, only pharmd students are only eligible, not B Pharm also.
so. I
Yes,
hope
and
Nikhil, Mohammed, Bini, all your doubts are cleared. Anything else is there? You can ask us.
same like Australia, but you must have at least 1 year work experience in the retail pharmacy or hospital pharmacy to apply for New Zealand. Without job offer letter, you can migrate to Australia or New Zealand, both countries. Any other doubt? Please fill this in chat box. We give this feedback form. You can write your question there. Our team will get back to you.
Okay. I think students can directly ask question.
Yes,
Sir,
students.
for your
There is no issues in
form.
unmuting and talking. Please do
Please
that.
unmute yourself and directly ask your question. Please ask question. Guys, I am here at the midnight. It is 12:30 a.m. in Australia. You're not
Yeah.
asking any questions.
Um, they'll ask, sir. We can have the feedback link is there, so they can directly get into the contact.
So there is a
Okay.
faculty. That's why you guys are not asking the questions.
Oh,
Ask please, so
sure.
you can clarify your doubts. So you can take your decision wisely. Where you can migrate. Australia or whether if you have any other question, for example, Sharon asked regarding this. New Zealand. Some student asking Ireland. So if you have any other questions, you can ask apart from Australia as well. Basically, in digital pharmacist, there is no jobs. As I mentioned already in my presentation also, 90% jobs in the hospital or retail pharmacy. Okay. If you even got the visa and migrate to Australia, very difficult to find a job. So I'm not recommend to anyone go for industrial pharmacist. But someone already have a work experience in industry, so you can migrate as an industrial pharmacist. And if you find any difficult to work in industry and not getting a job, then you can write again the CAPS exam in Australia. So industrial pharmacist, if you want to become, you must have 2 year work experience in India. Then you can apply. So we can help you to file your visa also. I mean, to help you to migrate as an industrial pharmacist to Australia. Basically, this is the main difference in India in foreign countries. Pharmacists need license. So you need to work in retail pharmacy or hospital pharmacy or clinical pharmacy settings. But in India, many students are not getting the job. So even syllabus also Indian pharmacy, they are basically more oriented to the industry. So many students are working in industry. So basically, in industry, the chemist can work. So any BSc holders, they can work in India also. They also can work in Australia. So this is not a very special job for pharmacists, not a single job for pharmacists, to work in industry. Specifically, pharmacist can do this job, the other person cannot do. Okay, so anyone can do it. They just give the training or teaching. So anyone can work.
Um,
But
yeah.
pharmacist, the license only can get a pharmacist. No one else can get this license.
Yeah. For industrial pharmacy, I think you don't need a license.
Yes, even in India
But
also,
for
any BSc
India
guy,
also, you don't need a license.
yes,
Hmm.
anyone can work in India as well. Same in Australia also, anyone can work in pharmaceutical industry. But for license, if you have a pharmacy degree holder, then only you can get the license. No one can else. Someone did like biotechnology or microbiology, biochemistry. Anyone can work in industry nowadays.
Okay.
Even same for like pharmacovigilance, clinical research, medical writing, medical coding. Many Indian students are working in this field. And later they ask me this question, sir, I want to migrate. Hi, Vandana.
Vandana, you can ask, unmute yourself.
Binsi is asking the opportunities in Gulf countries. So, a lot of people are working in Gulf countries from Kerala, right? So, I do not recommend to anyone to go in Gulf countries. But his salary is very, very low, basically, even the work culture is not as like high income countries. So your aim must be to migrate in high income countries like US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, or European countries. Okay, so Gulf countries basically first they are not given any PR visa, they just give on work visa, and salary very, very low. If I'm talking about this UAE nowadays, whether you are a B Farm holder, Farm D holder, your salary will be 3,500 AED. Is hardly 70 to 80,000 Indian rupees only. So very, very low salary. In case of Australia, you can get like around 4 lakh, 3 lakh minimum, 5 lakh up to you can earn easily. So try to, to be in this high income countries. That will be there is a good scope for pharmacy. Yes, so CAPS exam is there is a validity for 3 years. Means within 3 years you must move to Australia. Okay. If you are not moving, then you have to rewrite the exam. And once you started your internship and become a pharmacist, then license you can renew yearly basis. Like in India, we are renewing our registration. Yes, I mean you can say this. As I mentioned, if you are earning 80,000 rupees in Dubai or any Gulf countries, how much you can save? Hardly you can save 40,000, 50,000 rupees. But if you are earning 4 lakh in Australia, still you can save 1.5 to 2 lakh per month easily after you're living very good life in Australia. And here the family education is free. If you have a kids, your wife or your husband, they can study or they can work full time in these countries. So dependent have a full work right to work here. So a lot of other advantage. As I mentioned, education is free, healthcare is free. If you have anything happen to your family, go to any hospital, any clinic. There's a free of cost treatment is here. So good saving, I can say, in Australia. Any questions, guys? Shiva, you can continue. I think maybe they don't have any questions. Please, I'm still
So,
here. If you have any
yes,
questions, you
yes,
can.
yes, guys. മലയാളത്തിലാണെങ്കിലും ചോദിച്ചോളൂ. ഇപ്പോ there is no issues in asking your doubts, as I have told before. So one thing ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ ഒന്ന് mention ചെയ്തോട്ടെ, why we have taken such a session for you, right? This is a trend now in നമ്മുടെ സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ, like നമ്മുടെ സ്റ്റേറ്റിലാണെങ്കിൽ പോലും എല്ലാവരും അബ്രോഡ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് നോക്കുകയാണ്. നിങ്ങൾ പല പല ഫേംസിനെയും പല പല ഇടങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ ഗൈഡൻസസ് കേൾക്കും. ഓക്കെ, സോ മെജോറിറ്റി ഓഫ് നിങ്ങളെ പോലെയുള്ള ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ്സ്, എസ്പെഷ്യലി ദി വൺ വിത്ത് ദി സ്കിൽസ് ഇൻ ഹാൻഡ്, നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന എന്താണ്, നിങ്ങൾ അബ്രോഡ് കൺട്രികളിൽ മൈഗ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് സ്റ്റഡി പർപ്പസസിനാണ്. ഓക്കെ, വേറെ നിങ്ങളുടെ കയ്യിൽ നിന്ന് മോർ ദാൻ 20 to 30 lakhs of rupees ചെലവാവുകയും നിങ്ങൾ അത് ആ ഒരു എമൗണ്ട് കൊടുത്ത് പഠിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യും, അതിന്റെ കൂടെ തന്നെ ജോലിയും ചെയ്യും, എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും കുക്കും ചെയ്യണം, വീട്ടിലെ കാര്യങ്ങളും നോക്കണം. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഗോയിങ് ടു ബി വെരി വെരി ഹെക്ടിക് ഷെഡ്യൂൾ കമ്പയർഡ് ടു ഇറ്റ്. അപ്പോ പുറത്തെ പഠിത്തം നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലെ പഠിത്തം പോലെ ആയിരിക്കത്തില്ല. അവിടെ പഠിക്കുകയും വേണം, അസൈൻമെന്റ്, പ്രോജക്ട്സ്, അത് അതില് പ്ലേഗറിസവും കാര്യങ്ങളും ഒന്നും ഉണ്ടാവാതെ ഒക്കെ ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരും. സോ ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് ആസ് ഈസി ആസ് വാട്ട് ദീസ് പീപ്പിൾ ആർ ഗോയിങ് ടു സജസ്റ്റ് യു, റൈറ്റ്? അപ്പോ ഈ ഒരു ടൈമിലാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇറ്റ്സ് ദ റൈറ്റ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി ദാറ്റ് യു ആർ ഹാവിങ് ഇൻ ഹാൻഡ്. നിങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ച ആ ഒരു ഫീൽഡിൽ തന്നെ ഒരു ബെറ്റർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ജോലിയും ആ ചെയ്യുന്ന ജോലിക്ക് ഒരു ബെറ്റർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള സാലറി നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഏൺ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റിയാണ്. അതിന്റെ കൂടെ തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾ പഠിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി പോകുമ്പോൾ ചെലവാക്കുന്നതിന്റെ 4-1 5 നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇവിടെ ചെലവാകത്തുള്ളൂ, വേർ യു ക്യാൻ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ഏർണിംഗ്, റൈറ്റ്? അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരു കാര്യങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങളെ അറിയിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ അറിഞ്ഞ് നിങ്ങൾ ആ ഒരു ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഗ്രാബ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് മെയിൻ ആയിട്ട് ഇവിടെ വരുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. We never intend to say that it is a very easy process, okay? This is an easy process compared to the other processes that are there or other countries that are there. So KAPS examination ആണെങ്കിലും it is very important that you need to be well prepared for it, okay? നിങ്ങൾ ആ ഒരു ട്രെയിനിങ്, how effective you are taking your training, how effective you are preparing for that particular examination, it is going to decide how good you are going to do in your career, right? സോ ഈ ഒരു കാര്യം നിങ്ങളെ അറിയിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതായിരുന്നു ഏറ്റവും ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഐ ഹോപ്പ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അത് യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആയി എന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. ആൻഡ് നിങ്ങൾ ഇത്രയും പേര് ഇവിടെ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തു. മെനി ഓഫ് യു ഹാവ് ബീൻ ടിൽ ദി ലാസ്റ്റ്. And I would like to thank Elsie ma'am for giving us such an opportunity to guide the students. ഞാൻ മാമുമായിട്ട് അറൌണ്ട് 1 മന്തിന് മുകളിലായിട്ട് കോൺടാക്റ്റിലാണ് ഇതിന്റെ ഒരു അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റ് വേണ്ടി. നിങ്ങളുടെ എക്സാംസ്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നിങ്ങളുടെ ഇന്റേൺഷിപ്പ്, അങ്ങനത്തെ കാര്യങ്ങളുടെയൊക്കെ തിരക്ക് കാരണമാണ് നമുക്ക് നേരത്തെ അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറ്റാത്തത്. സോ എനിവേസ് സൂൺ നിങ്ങൾ ഈ കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ ജോലി കാര്യങ്ങൾ എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ് ഓടാനായിട്ട് തുടങ്ങും. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഇപ്പോ ഉള്ള സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ പഠിക്കാൻ പോവാതെ ജോലിക്ക് പോകാനായിട്ട് എല്ലാവരും കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുക. കാരണം ജോലിക്ക് പോയാലും there is an option to study, do your higher studies there.
Okay, so I think sir നമുക്ക് വൈൻഡ് അപ്പ് ചെയ്യാമല്ലോ.
ഷുവർ മാം, ഷുവർ. വേറെ ഡൗട്ട്സ് ഒന്നും ഇല്ലാന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് വൈൻഡ് അപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം. എല്ലാവരും ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക് ഫോം ഫില്ല് ചെയ്തോളുക. ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ ഞാനിവിടെ എന്റെ നമ്പർ ഡ്രോപ്പ് ചെയ്യാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉണ്ട് എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ you can call me out on this number. Okay, I will be I would love to answer all your doubts and concerns.